Marikana massacre came as a great shock to all of us, and I never thought as an activist that I would be standing in a taxi rank, in a train station, at the university campus, basically handing out pamphlets about the fact that people have died and that the ANC government has gone this far as to open fire against its people.
I think the initial reaction was one of extreme shock. I think because what took place was captured on television, many, if not most people across the country could see very, very graphic visuals of the massacre, and people were shocked by that. I think as more information filtered through, that shock was followed by anger, in the sense that it became clear that this wasn't, as the government tried to make out, simply a matter of the police responding to being shot at themselves. It became clear that this was a carefully orchestrated military-type operation that had been planned and executed and orchestrated in a very clinical way.
It has forced everyone to make a choice, whether you're standing for the people or you're standing against the people. And in a sense, a lot of organizations that represented the working class have made that choice. A lot of COSATU trade unions, in particular the National Union of Mine Workers and COSATU leaders, have also made a choice in the massacre. They chose to condemn the struggle of workers. They chose to call in the police. They chose to, immediately after the massacre, not only fail to condemn the massacre itself, but also insist that workers must go back to work. They also never said anything about the statements that the police issued about shooting in self-defense, the commissioner of police saying to the police, don't be sorry that you've murdered people. They never said anything about evidence that came to light after the massacre about the fact that the majority of the people were actually killed away from the scene, that they were killed whilst they were surrendering, they were killed whilst they were running away, they were run over by cars. They said nothing about the torture of those that were arrested. They said nothing about the fact that they were charged with killing their own fellow workers. You know, a lot of things have happened since the massacre that has actually helped to lift the veil of this illusion of democracy in South Africa, the illusion that it is actually possible to have prosperity, to have democracy under conditions of neoliberalism.
It's a hugely significant event. I think it's a turning point. I think what has taken place, and it precedes the actual massacre, there's been a building up of frustration on the part of ordinary working class people. What Marikana expresses in a very direct way is the fact that not much has changed in the new South Africa. And that feeling, that sense is pretty much the case across the whole of South Africa. It has come out in the form of protests that have not been confined to particular provinces or even parts of those provinces. They've been in the big towns, in the cities, in the rural villages across the country. And there's a sense that the expectations that people had in 1994 have been dashed, and things are getting worse, in fact, in all areas of social life, whether it is housing, whether it is health, education, and certainly around the question of unemployment and the question of what a living wage means.
And generally, people have been extremely outraged. I think that the people have suffered a lot of trauma as a result of the massacre. No one really thought that such a thing could happen in a democratic government in this day and age.